I don't care about the money. I care about the money.
The drama surrounding the alleged murder plot by Fat Joe against 50 Cent, as detailed in a $20 million civil RICO lawsuit filed by Terrance T.A. Dixon, Fat Joe's former hype man, has ignited a firestorm in the hip-hop community. The lawsuit, filed on June 19, 2025 in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, accuses Fat Joe, Joseph Cartagena, of orchestrating a criminal enterprise involving coercive labor, financial fraud, sexual misconduct, and violent intimidation, including a supposed conspiracy to murder 50 Cent Curtis Jackson during their early 2000s feud. Coupled with disturbing allegations of sexual relations with minors, the case draws parallels to other high-profile hip-hop controversies like Sean Diddy Combs' ongoing legal battles. However, 50 Cent's dismissal of the murder plot claims and the lack of corroborating evidence raise questions about the lawsuit's credibility. The lawsuit filed by Terrance T. Dixon paints a grim picture of Fat Joe's operations, alleging a Cartagena enterprise that engaged in a pattern of racketeering activity, including a 2006 to 2007 plot to assassinate 50 Cent during their well-documented Unit vs. Terror Squad beef. According to the 157-page complaint, Fat Joe, while in Miami, received a tip about 50 Cent's presence at a New York venue and ordered a hit, only for the plan to be abandoned due to 50 Cent's Navy SEAL-level security. Dixon claims Fat Joe openly admitted to putting a bag on 50 Cent's head and expressed frustration when the plot failed, suggesting a calculated effort to track 50 Cent's tour schedule for an ambush. The lawsuit also names associates like Pistol Pete Torres and Richard Rich Player Jospiter, as well as Roc Nation, accusing them of enabling or ignoring the enterprise's activities. These allegations are explosive, but their credibility is questionable. No mainstream or legal source confirms a murder plot against 50 Cent, and the claim relies solely on Dixon's testimony, which lacks independent corroboration. 50 Cent, known for his sharp responses to adversaries, quickly dismissed the allegations on Instagram on June 21, 2025, stating, "These baseless accusations and claims are not credible. I'm sorry Joe has to endure the public scrutiny and damage to his reputation. This is stick up," accompanied by a playful jab about a song hook. Fat Joe responded with a 100 emoji, signaling appreciation for the support. This reaction contrasts sharply with 50 Cent's aggressive pursuit of other foes like Diddy, suggesting he views Dixon's claims as unfounded or strategically chooses not to escalate. Fans on X, as reflected in posts like at 50 Cent, speculate 50 Cent may be playing chess, maintaining peace with Fat Joe, with whom he reconciled years ago, to avoid fueling the narrative. The murder plot allegation is overshadowed by the lawsuit's more disturbing claims. Dixon accuses Fat Joe of engaging in sexual relations with minors as young as 15 and 16, naming 3 Jane Does, including a 16-year-old Dominican girl and a 15-year-old non-citizen allegedly flown across state lines. He claims Fat Joe paid for a Brazilian butt lift for one minor, now married to a professional athlete, and housed another in a Florida condo near his family home. These allegations, detailed in outlets like Variety and USA Herald, are so graphic that the filing includes a trigger warning. Dixon further alleges he was coerced into over 4,000 sexual acts under threat of abandonment in foreign countries, framing these as tactics to ensure his compliance within Fat Joe's enterprise. Such claims, if true, would have severe legal and cultural implications, but they remain unverified and are contested by Fat Joe's legal team. Fat Joe's attorney, Joe Tacopina, calls the lawsuit a blatant act of retaliation for a defamation suit Fat Joe filed against Dixon in April 2025, accusing him of extortion and spreading false pedophilia claims. Tacopina asserts the allegations are complete fabrications designed to damage Fat Joe's reputation and force a settlement. Roc Nation, also named in the suit, filed a motion to dismiss on June 23, 2025, arguing it had no role beyond managing Fat Joe's career since 2017. Timing of Dixon's lawsuit, coming amid heightened scrutiny of hip-hop figures like Diddy, raises suspicions of opportunism. Dixon's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, who also represents Diddy accuser Rodney Lil Rod Jones, compares Fat Joe to Combs, stating, "Fat Joe is Sean Combs minus the Tussie," but his history of filing high-profile lawsuits, some partially dismissed, invites skepticism about his motives. The RICO framework adds weight to the case but complicates it. Civil RICO requires proving a pattern of racketeering activity involving multiple predicate acts, such as fraud, extortion, or violence over time. Dixon's claims of financial fraud, underpayment, denied songwriting credits for tracks like Congratulations and Ice Cream, coercive labor, and violent threats aim to establish this pattern. However, the murder plot and sexual misconduct allegations demand substantial evidence, which Dixon's filing lacks beyond his own account and unverified photos. The inclusion of coded language like ketchup for stabbing and corpin for killing, as reported by USA Herald, adds intrigue but risks being dismissed as speculative without corroborating witnesses or documentation. The feds have not signaled involvement, unlike in Diddy's criminal RICO case, suggesting Dixon's claims haven't yet triggered a broader investigation. The historical context of the 50 Cent Fat Joe feud, peaking in the mid-2000s with diss tracks like 50 Cent's Piggy Bank, provides a backdrop but no direct evidence of a murder plot. Their rivalry, fueled by 50 Cent's clashes with Ja Rule and Murder Incorporated, was intense but resolved publicly by 2012, with joint appearances and mutual respect. 50 Cent's decision to downplay the allegations may reflect this reconciliation or a strategic move to avoid legal entanglement, especially as he's producing a documentary on Diddy's case. The lawsuit's timing, coinciding with hip-hop's RICO scrutiny, a Young Thug's case, fuels speculation that Dixon is capitalizing on the industry's legal woes, though he claims fear of retaliation kept him silent until now. Ultimately, the lack of concrete evidence and the retaliatory context of Fat Joe's prior defamation suit cast doubt on Dixon's narrative. The murder plot, while headline-grabbing, seems implausible given 50 Cent's dismissal and the absence of historical reports of such an attempt. The sexual misconduct allegations, if substantiated, would be far more damaging, but their reliance on Dixon's uncorroborated testimony and the ongoing legal counterattacks suggest a contentious battle ahead. This case underscores hip-hop's fraught relationship with RICO laws and the power of insider allegations to disrupt legacies, but without stronger evidence, it risks being dismissed as a vengeful ploy. What do you think? Is 50 Cent's calm response a sign of loyalty to Fat Joe or a calculated move to stay out of the drama? Are Dixon's allegations credible, or is this a retaliatory stick-up as 50 Cent claims? Could this lawsuit reshape how we view hip-hop's elite? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like if you're shocked by these claims, and subscribe with that bell icon for the latest on this unfolding saga.